What's up guys, SirAlien here. In this tutorial, I'm going to extend on the last tutorial, so it's basically an extension to part 1. I was going to do the Photoshop part today, but I decided not to because what's the use of just doing text, and because you can add text and a logo in there in your in your in your scene or in your background. So I'm just going to show you that part now, and I'm going to, well, let me show you what we're going to be creating first. Something like this. Now you're going to want to sometimes, like, I like to render these out separately so I have more control of them in Photoshop, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how to do all this, and then I'm going to show you, I don't know if you guys can see the logo or not. It's because it's darker than it's a dark material. So without further ado, let's just get started. So which window? Okay. I imported my my logo spline into this. So now it for some reason it's always out of scene, and I don't know why. I've tried different methods in Photoshop, creating the spline and pen tooling and stuff like that. It's always going to be out of frame. So to get that in the frame, especially when this is very important whenever you're making an intro, so everything's not offset and you have more control and everything's just dead center. Well, change these values to 0, just this side on position, not size. You don't want to mess with that. And rotation, I mean, you can try to mess with that. I mean, you can always rotate using the rotate tool, and then just hit everything and make it 0. So now it's in the middle of your scene. So then take this, and I usually go by this line right here. It's dead center, like looking right, well, kind of right at me. I mean, not looking right at me, straight up and down, like perfect thing. So that the way I know it's dead center. So now I'm just going to put this in extrude NURBS. Actually, I'm going to pause this so I can set up the scene. Alright, I kind of pause it for no reason because the next step is to add in a camera. So that's what we're going to do. And basically same steps as last time. And make sure this is unchecked whenever you move it, because I'm going to have to add more depth to this. I don't know what you guys, yeah, not that much depth. But I usually, for some reason, I don't know what it's like, OCD, I guess. I have to have it either end it in a 0 or a 5. I don't know, it's just the way I do things. So now I'm going to show you guys a couple materials. Okay, I don't know what just happened here. Hold on. Alright, whatever. I'm going to try to, I don't know why this is here. Anyway, so I'll put this in the description, but we're gonna need this. Actually, let me try this one. I'm gonna experiment with this. I'll make sure I get this one out also. And my material pack, which is where this one's gonna come from. This SirAlien's 30 custom. Now, none of these are for some reason showing up, but it's dark crumpled paper, which for some reason it doesn't look like crumpled paper, but it looks like rocks or grungy whatever. But anyway, add the if you're doing the materials that I'm doing, add the dark crumpled paper to this, to your logo or whatever text, and then go down here to projection, hit cubic, do what you normally would do, and hit seamless. What I'm going to do next is, I don't really like the way, I like the way obviously the logo looks, but I don't really like the way it's it doesn't look necessarily 3D, other than right here, which we're going to want it to look like it's 3D obviously. So then I'm going to tilt this one, wait, hold on. I'm going to tilt this one a little bit like forward, and that looks, for some reason, looks better to me. I don't know if it looks better to any of you, but I mean, it's just personal preference and stuff like that. So now is we're going to run it through Nitroblast or Thralsy. I don't like using Thralsy. And hold on. And so change this quality to high. Don't mess with any of these three right here. Just stay on main. And then I'm gonna change the seed. And one trick, it works all over the place on Cinema 4D, is if you click and then if you click on the top, well, I mean, it doesn't matter where you click actually. If you click at least on here to move it up, you can just drag up like this, and to move it down, you can drag down. I don't know, I just thought it was a quick tip. And so let's change these to 100. Last time I had it to 180, so I don't know. And again, with the even numbers, I don't know, it's just something weird. And then now what you want to do is hit fracture. And I don't know if I'm going to have to pause the video. I'm probably not going to have to. So anyway, now you just want to delete these two. Hold on, wait a second. Actually, you want to change this this yellow one to one of these, to a lava or whatever textures you're using. And now you want to go into here, into the Nitroblast Extrude NURBS, then the main pieces, and then the dynamic. Click on the first one, hold shift, and click on this one. Click on the last one actually. And then drag them out. I can't remember, there's some way to get all these pieces by adding a fracture, which get all these pieces to go under as a child in the fractures, but it for some reason I never can get it to work. Sorry about that. Then do that same thing again by holding shift and make it a child. Now you can just delete this out, and as you can see, I should have, well, yeah, I can do it this way, hold on, which is more of a pain actually. Never, forget it, we don't actually, that is really gonna bother me. Hold on a second. Now we gotta do all, I'll pause it for right now. Okay, I forgot to make this cubic and seamless. That was just gonna bother me. I don't necessarily know why, but I thought I should just let you guys know that. So either go back or in the video, I mean not go back in the video, or go back to the to this part and make it so you make it cubic and seamless. I mean, you don't have to. It's just going to be on the inside, and whenever you open up, I mean, whenever you use the random, which we're about to do next, it'll show that part, but I don't know. It's just texturing to me. So now what you do is, hold on, yeah, you add a fracture in. Sorry, I was ahead of myself. And then now what you do, you make sure the fracture is selected, and then go to effector, random, and you'll get this. Okay, this looks like a mess, but what you want to do now is, hold on, I was looking for something. Okay, random isn't in. Oh, never mind. You can go to this fall off, and you can change it to a capsule, so a certain part of it's cracked. I'm not going to go into depth with this. I'm just going to keep it on infinite. And wow, I just messed it up. So sometimes it'll happen, it'll mess up, and it'll just stop working. I don't know, it's just communication with the throughout the thing. So change this strength to, I mean, pull it down. I usually keep mine to about 5, and just to make sure, I'm going to go back to the other one I created just to see where I had it at 24. Again, personal preference, it's whatever. So now what you're going to want to do is go into the position, I mean into the parameter, and change these to, I mean, you can change all of these to 0 if you want, but that'll make it so you don't have anything moved or out of place. So just go to rotation, and you can change stuff in here, which I I don't know. If you plan on changing the strength, you might as well because see, if I change the strength up to that, it's just going to be all over the place. It's going to rotate more than I want it to. And then actually you can just use some of these. Now you have to be familiar with your X, Y, and Z axes, because this is very important in doing this. I don't know how to explain the X, Y, and Z axes. It's just the way, I guess, a grid is. So, well, I mean, yeah. So next is the lighting. I'm not going to put just to save time, I'm not going to put the torus in. I could show you how to do that in a later tutorial. In the next tutorial, I'm going to have the torus in there, or I think it's a torus, not a, why I keep saying torus? Oh yeah, it's a tube, sorry. And now I'm going to do lighting, which is where this camera, the reason why we put the camera where it is, so we can just take it out like this. And alright, I like to use, you can use any light you want. I use Light Kit Infinite for everything. So an overhead softbox, a spotlight, and you're going to want another spotlight from up here. So I mean, this is a little bit different from the original tutorial, but it's me messing around with the lighting. And well, I already did this earlier. So first of all, I'm going to use the spotlight, and if you hold shift, you'll get a good 10 degree. I'll show you guys that again. Did I just? Okay, never mind. 10 degree rotations. I usually put mine in 80, and then actually let me get to a side view. I pull it up like this, and go into the options real quick. Go to type, and well, not type, shadow, and shadow map soft, and then bring the intensity down to about 25. Take this spotlight. Well, I'm gonna take this spotlight and move it down to here, and again holding shift. You'll get those 10 degree or even rotations. And then next is pull the, well, again rotate the overhead softbox and move it back, or I don't know, let me see something. Okay, it's covering everything. Alright, so now go back into your camera. This is why the camera was so important. I'm going to change the random a little bit, and I'm going to add some more strength to it. I'm going to put about 10, and then change this to 150, and this to 150 also. Okay, and then I'm going to add more stuff to... Alright, so... hold on. Alright, so now what you want to do is go into your render settings, and same render settings as before, the ambient occlusion. You can obviously change a lot in here. As I said, 100 accuracy. That's going to take forever to render out, but I'm going to still do it anyway. If your computer's good enough, obviously do that. If you don't know what any of this stuff does in here, the sampling, you can go to high or whatever you need to do. But if you don't know what you're doing in here, just put global illumination on, and it'll look this almost the same, except if you know what you're doing, because like I don't know what half of this stuff does, and that's why I don't mess with it. So anyway, I'm gonna add another sharpen filter, and then let me just show you guys quickly how to save it. The PNG, then the alpha channel, and the straight alpha, and then the output. I usually do 1920 by 1080, which is too big. It takes forever to like render out. So yeah, it's not always good. And so anyway, after these render settings, after I fix this render setting, we're going to be basically done. I'm not going to show you how it looks, because you should really actually know how it looks by just like looking at it. I mean, obviously, well, hold on, actually, never mind. I can show you how it looks. Like basically like this. It's gonna look like this. And as I said earlier, it looks like I guess charcoal, or not charcoal, burnt wood, and a little bit on the lava on the inside. I don't know. I changed the texture though on the on this one. So anyway, if you have any questions, you need to contact me for anything, or you would like to purchase anything, or just want to add me on Skype, everything will be in the description, including links and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys in the next tutorial, which will be in Photoshop.